Greetings, gods and goddesses, and trying and welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makaro, All Relations. Today we're talking all about what therapists don't want you to know. And this is a very, very deep secret that I think is being hidden by the pharmaceutical industry. You can take it with a grain of salt, okay? You don't have to believe everything I tell you just because a guy on YouTube says it doesn't make it true. But I will say that if you've ever been to a therapist, they're like, here's a label, here's a pill, I'll see you next month. Bro, what if the label is the spell and the pill is a leash? You're not a disorder with two options to suffer or sedate. You're a walking antenna in a demon-sponsored attention economy. Because they profit you to believe, oh, my brain is broken. Oh, these voices are you. Oh, you'll never be okay without us. Thoughts are frequencies, not commandments. Trauma is a stuck identity. It's not your destiny. Entities, addictions, intrusive thinking. They all feed on one thing. The energy you never chose to reclaim. And hey, I've done therapy in the past. Therapy can be great with the right kind of person. But a system that sells you symptom management as salvation, gaslights spiritual warfare as just hallucinations, and keeps you looping instead of liberating, is that the real healer? Right? Many people come to me and they're like, oh, but I have another therapist. First of all, I don't function as a therapist. I'm a positive psychologist, right? But what I do is therapeutic in its nature. A therapist isn't invested in your awakening, right? They're invested in your return rate. They want you coming back, whereas I don't have that in me. Give people a way out so they can solve their issue in like 4 sessions, and then they don't need to be dependent on me, right? We're looking for results here. My work is very different because I don't worship the diagnosis. I hunt loops, I drain mind viruses, and I try to fill the space with presence, polarity, and actual spiritual hygiene. It's entities and nervous system. You're not broken, you're besieged, and it's time to reclaim the throne. You can go to a therapist if that's your path. Or you can come to Uncle Makaro if you're ready to see the parasites, the programming, and the priesthood behind your pain, because ultimately, the choice will be yours. Negative entities don't show up as monsters. They show up as voices in your own mind. You're worthless, you're broken, nobody really loves you. Just jump. And because it sounds like you, you believe it. And the moment you believe it, they start feasting. These voices are organized, they're consistently negative, they get louder at night, and they absolutely hate anything to do with presence, mantra, prayer, meditation. They hate that. They'll actually get you procrastinating on those things. So these astral beings don't want your well-being. They want you harvestable and sad. Right. And I'm talking about lower astral beings, not like there's certain beings that you can call in that also benefit your life, right? But if media is feeding you already 24/7 fear, you have entertainment posturing as relaxation when it's actually violence and gore, and systems that don't care if you heal, only if you stay dependent. So tell me that doesn't look like the same pattern. Keep a human in low vibration. Feed off of the chaos. Profit when they break. That's demonology in 3D. You are the one who hears this voice, and you are not your trauma, not your thought stream, not your diagnosis. Because awareness was there before your first intrusive thought, before you had to be labeled, before you had to take a pill. Whether you've seen them as literal beings or psychic parasites is irrelevant. They talk through your head, but they are not your essence. That's what you gotta know. And the moment you realize that thought is my mind, but it's not me, you've cut off like 80% of the power already. Because they feed off of your reaction, actually. So if you argue with them, believe them, panic, they keep winning. But if you label it, that's not me. That's a parasite script. Gets you shaming, maybe you're questioning self-harm, maybe you're just relentlessly negative. Understand it's an entity possession, it's not you. And therapists don't want to tell you this, okay? You say, I see you, to the being. The Gnostics knew this. The moment you see the Archon, light hits it. And these things thrive in the hidden, in the obscurity, ambiguity in their nature. So they hate being exposed. But if you just shine your light on them and you expose the shadows, they start to cower and flee. Refuse to emotionally sign the contract. Don't argue, don't negotiate with them. Just no thanks. No thanks. Back to what you're doing. Maybe listen to a scripture, a prayer, a mantra, something that uplifts you some binaurals, right? Or a memory of someone that you genuinely love that raises your frequency. Deliberately start choosing higher truths, higher thoughts. I'm not alone in this. My worth is not decided by a voice in my head. I choose life, even if I don't feel it yet. You're not positive thinking your way out, right? These aren't just like a bunch of catchy corporate slogans for you to follow, right? That makes you even more kind of pushing away from the toxic positivity of that. You're starving the parasite and feeding the soul. Are you guys getting this? There's a bigger war going on over your attention, over your emotional body, over whether you become a battery for fear or a conduit of love. So what are you going to do with the next dark thought that walks in your mind? Are you going to wear it as your identity or clock it as an invader and escort it out? Because every time you choose awareness over autopilot, you win. You're weakening the negative kingdom. You're strengthening a field of sanity around you. And you're making it easier for others to remember who they are on this planet too. So you're actually doing a service. Now listen, if the voices tell you to hurt someone, do something, go and get support, okay? Go get medical support, sure. Talk to someone, get on a crisis line. Maybe find a good therapist or guide, right? Don't just stop your meds cold turkey without professional supervision. That's not what I'm advising. Spiritual warfare and nervous system care go hand in hand. But we're really talking about and emphasizing taking back the power, your health, right? Mental, emotional, physical health. That's not selfish. It's one of the most revolutionary things on planet Earth. Every time you choose presence over panic, you're healing the collective. And every time you're doubling down on your compassion over your self-hatred, you're shutting down a little piece of that feeding farm. You are not their cattle, okay? You are not their consent. You are the awareness that can unplug from their broadcast at will. Once you get that, the demonic isn't a scary movie anymore. It's just spam, right? It's just junk mail. The one who decides what plays in your head. Bro, you ain't the movie. Get out of there. Right? The therapy business model, the rapist, right? Therapist. The therapy business model is quite simple. Keep you sick, keep you scared, keep you paying. Right? Their cartels literally lobbied to criminalize healing. They've had cancer cures and medical beds since the 60s, guys. And while you're paying them to manage your condition, they're literally poisoning the air, the soil, everything. Right? So this is manufactured sickness. But most mental illness voices are not hallucinations as far as I've seen. They're energetic mind invaders. They are entities feeding on emotional charge. How do I know this? I've experienced this myself. This thing in my head is not me. It's feeding on me. That's why I'm tired and low all the time. Why are people who are depressed always feeling low and lethargic? They're being drained. Because entities hate one spiritual truth: love. Unconditional love burns them like a blowtorch. They can handle your fear, depression, and shame. They can't handle your love. When you say, I see you, I forgive you, it's over. They melt, they recoil. That's why Jesus healed the possessed, right? Not because he was a magician, because he understood polarity dynamics. He understood the mechanics of consciousness. The negative entities are squatters with no actual power of their own. So trauma's the doorway. Entities are the tenants, and psychiatry is the landlord, okay? And I say this with full pride, knowing that my father was also a psychiatrist. But I'm never gonna sit in this office and blame someone for having a chemical imbalance, that give them pills to numb their symptoms, and never question what's draining their energy. And I'm not talking about reframes or copes or things like this. I'm talking about destroying that negative identity's energy at the spiritual root. Because if you access God directly, you become a threat to their systems. The system that wants you sick is not your healer. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be food anymore. Okay, are you food? I'm not food. Once you recognize this gives you ultimate power. And then mental health, you understand, starts becoming physical health and emotional health and all sorts of spiritual health, right? It's all interconnected. So why are you not looking after yourself? Why do you constantly live in effect to the world rather than being at the cause? To reclaim your power and understand that just because someone's giving you a way out, right, a quick fix, solution, doesn't mean it's just like, oh, I'll just do a little bit of gratitude journaling, right? Maybe that's one level, but you have to keep adapting, keep moving, expanding yourself on this journey, right? Your journey is so unique to you, and you have ultimate power. So let's get it to the upward spiral, gang. May we never be the same again. Thank you for tapping in. I hope you have an incredible day. May the flow be with you. Stay legendary. You got this. We got this. Boom.